Hey up, ladies, gents, and everyone in between. Welcome in to another video. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Olivia Rodrigo's new album, Guts. Now, I'm starting off with a bit of a lie. I have already reacted to this album. Okay? It's already on the Patreon. However, when I went into editing it for YouTube, the file got corrupted and I can't recover it. So, here we are. Because I promised it, I'm reacting it again at 2 in the morning for you guys. I'm going to do a video on it because I did promise I'll do one. In all honesty, the first video, I had to do it through the TV. The audio was a bit crap. The quality of the camera was a bit crap. So, I managed to find a way to get it recorded on the laptop, so it should be much better quality. So it might be a better video in general, to be fair. So nothing really, I can't really complain. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a second time viewing of it. So I know kind of what, I don't know like all the lyrics off by heart, but I know I've got like a gist for like the kind of the vibe of the album. And I thought it was good, by the way. Of course I did. That's why I'm doing another one, because I think it's that good. Anyway, all my social will be in the description down below. Instagram and TikTok. Now, Patreon will have the unedited version of my first reaction, albeit a bit crap quality. It'll also be the unedited version of my second reaction, which I promise I'll put up there if you want to see the full thing. If you want to see all my unedited reactions when it comes to Heartstopper, Red, White, Royal Blue, etc., it's only £4 a month. There'll be stuff in there that'll be left out of a YouTube edit for copyright reasons. Be my guest. Go check it out. I really think you should. I mean, it's worth. I think it's worth money. If you love my content, then why not get more of me? But without further ado, let's get into the reaction. So first track, All American Bitch. Let's go. Starts off nice and melodic, doesn't it? Oh, it's a phenomenal song. It's a phenomenal intro as well. What a good opening track. It's just such a banging like reaction. Like when I first listened to this, I was like, "What the like?" It's such like a simple start. I thought it was going to be like a brutal, like the last album, where it was just this kind of all-out angsty, grungy, sopping track. But then, it got me, didn't it? It's an incredible album. You've got the lyrics. It's clearly about being an all-American girl, isn't it? And the expectations of living up to that kind of person, which I think is wrong, by the way. You shouldn't always aspire to be people like that. You've got to be your own person, and in a way, which I think Olivia's trying to emulate in her album. I know my age and I like it. You got what you can't resist. I'm a perfect all-American. That's the vibe I get from it. Such a banger, man. All-American hits. Yeah. And that screech, oh my god. Like that proper like grungy punky screech, like Jesus Christ. Shook, absolutely shook to that. I'm grateful all the time. I'm grateful all the time. Absolute banger. I just want a bit of a debrief on that one. So like clearly, yeah, like I said, it's about being an all-American bitch in a way. It's all about living up to the expectations of being a stereotypical American girl. It's just a fucking fantastic song. It's a great opening track as well. Now, literally says this, I've got like Genius on my phone. It's good to I feel like it's good to get a ground of what, the artists and that they think of the song. It says here it's the pop rock opening track of Rodrigo's sophomore album. The song explores the contradictions inherent in American culture, which places and promotes unattainable ideas for women to achieve right. with double standards, exactly. It's what I've been saying. It's literally like, you got to be nice, kind, ooh, be prim and perfect for everyone, you know. No, fuck that. Be yourself. That's what I think Olivia's saying anyway. You know, the emotions explored in this song highlight her feel of misplacement in American culture and society, and ultimately how she feels she isn't doing enough to be this perfect American woman, exactly. It's like kind of just always striving to be this person, which is just impossible to achieve, you know. Hence an all-American bitch. But yeah, absolutely love that song, absolutely love that song. So obviously we've got the next one now. Track 2, Bad Idea, Right. Such a bag. If you've all heard this song anyway, it's only on TikTok and all that malarkey, so.
Haven't heard from you in a couple of months, but I'm out right now and I'm all bugged up.
It's so witty as well, I love it.
My brain goes, can't hear my
Cannot hear the fast. Probably not. God, honestly, I mean, this song, honestly, it's for not it. I'm always lost for words when I hear this song, because I'm just like, what? You know, just such clever like lyricism and stuff, like songwriting. It's just phenomenal. It's clearly about obviously someone who's with an ex and just trying to thinking about getting back with the ex, and it's a bad idea. Obviously, that's like the service level of the song. But there's just more to that, isn't there? You know, it's like, yeah, it's just, oh god.
I've seen much hotter men, but I really can't remember when.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe.
Bad idea, right? Seeing you tonight. It's a bad idea,
What?
right? Seeing you tonight.
Ready for it?
Fuck it, it's fine.
Yes, I know that he's my ex. We can't do people we can't.
Fuck it all. Tell you what, I thought this was Jack White. I really did. I thought it was. Banging. This song is everything. This song, honestly, man. Oh, God, see, I'm sweating after that. It's a workout, that song, I'm telling you. I mean, I literally put it in the gym as well, but it's still a workout. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've got Genius up again. It's described as fun and playful. I mean, that's very clear, isn't it? It's a punk rock track that follows the events of Olivia lying to her friends, who would otherwise object to Rodrigo's eponymous bad idea about leaving the party to her ex-boyfriend. Her motive looks ponder on whether the pair can rekindle their love for each other, and she decides to seek the outcome. So yeah, it's like I can definitely see it as being a much more light-hearted song of the album for sure. It's like, it takes jab and joke and sarcasm into this kind of like seeing your ex, it's a bad idea, you know. But I think it also has underlying tones of like manipulation. I mean, is this boy what, like, almost kind of pulling the strings to make her do that? That might be a little bit outside the box, but I'm not going to pass that off, you know. But yeah, love Bad Idea, right? Anyway, this is the lead single now, isn't it? Vampire, which is track number 3.
Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just should have known it was straight.
It makes me feel things, you know. I heard this song a few times.
I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so
You dry like a goddess. See, that's so brutal, man. Pause. It's so brutal. It's God. It's just leeches, isn't it? It's talking about leeches, people that just suck off you for like fame and power and want you just for the position you're in. You know, whether this is autobiography or not, it's still such a deep subject to contend with, because it does happen, doesn't it? You know, people are like that, unfortunately.
And every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. Better, I've made some real big mistakes.
So he gets faster now, doesn't it?
It was strange. You were a goddamn vampire.
Literally, a fucking vampire, man.
motherfucker,
bleeding me dry like a
goddamn vampire.
That fucking ending, man. What a comeback. Because that's like a comeback single, right? Because obviously she hadn't released anything in between Sour and this. So it was a good couple of years. But what a song to come back to for your second album as well. Really, like, because I know there was a lot of criticism one at a time about her vocal range and stuff, and how people were saying she can't sing bad, you know, like strong songs. But she just fucking proved all them wrong, didn't she, with that? I mean, it says here, like I was saying, really, it's about a boy who took advantage of, lied to her, and ultimately used her. Obviously, vampires being referenced, sucking them dry, like, you know, of all the fame, using them, exploiting them. It's, again, vulnerability, self-discovery, and liberating yourself from toxic relationship dynamics. Exactly that, you know. It's getting yourself out of that position, realising it, you know. I feel like with fame, and like I said, it becomes tenfold, that kind of stuff. It really does. But anyway, let's go on to track 4, which is Lacy, I believe. Lacy, luscious Lacy.
Lacy, skin like puff pastry. Aren't you the sweetest thing on this side of hell? Like perfume that you wear.
Her vocals on this, it's so sparkle and so like atmospheric, which is such a contrast for strong kind of ballady vibes of Vampire. It's just a nice change, isn't it? It just shows the versatility as well as an artist.
I see you everywhere, sweetest torture one could.
Again, it's like, but it takes over my life, I see you everywhere, and the sweetest torture one could bear. It's this song is about this girl who she admires and loves, but is also something that she despises and hates, in the sense that it's this woman that she will never, it's impossible to become. That's what I get from this, you know. Takes my life, I see you everywhere, the obsession, the sweetest torture one could bear, the love and the disposition one. Phenomenal, the songwriting.
I feel your compliments like bullets on skin. Ooh, I care, like ribbons in your hair.
Phenomenal. It's just this chorus, isn't it? Oh, I care, like ribbons in your hair, my stomach all in knots. You got the one thing that I want. Oh, I try to rationalise people are people, but it's like you're made of angel dust. It's this constant like conflict between the love and the rationalisation of it all, and this kind of pure hatred and despising her, you know. It and the angel dust lyric, I mean, that's just 2 words. If that says to me, it just emulates the impossibility of this person, doesn't it? Angel dust isn't real. It's something we imagine. It's something that we see as being beautiful, and this thing that's just not possible in reality. It's just, again, great choice of words, great lyricism. She's, for her age, it's phenomenal. God. I'll tell you what.
Lately, and I despise my jealous eyes and how hard they fell for you.
See this outro as well. Well done, Olivia Rodrigo, for that. Because that was brilliant. That outro, I got lesbian vibes. Like, it was more than a platonic love. It was like a romantic thing she had for this woman. I despise you with my jealous eyes and how they all fulfill you. I mean, that's so obvious. But then it's kind of like, I took it as internalised homophobia. I despise my rotten mind and how much it worships you. Is that internalised homophobia, or is that just her speaking as someone that also despises this woman from that standpoint? I just found that an interesting choice of words, and something that I suppose she probably thinks we'd all be discussing. But again, that's one of the standouts of the album for me, Lacy. From a lyrical standpoint, it really, really is good. It's phenomenal, in fact. Anyway, Let's go to track 5, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. Oh, this is it. I remember this one. This is the grungy one. You can tell I'm a real... I love this sort of like rock and roll stuff, you know.
Cold, I'm on the outside, it's the greatest.
Guitar, the drums, everything. It's living. That is a vibe, man. Again, it's this. I'll get into the lyrics at the end, but the production on this track in particular really, really makes me feel good. Right? It's clearly a grunge track. That's, you know, like, it gives me the kind of like the Pearl Jam, Soundgarden kind of like, you know, Courtney Love, that kind of stuff. It's the you know, obviously the guitars, the drum, everything. It's very grunge influenced, which I think it's a perfect way to describe social anxiety. I think that's probably one of the things it was, you know, grunge came about, was things like isolation and outcastery and things like that. And obviously being homeschooled, I feel like it's this element of not being able to socialise is stereotypically assumed to homeschool people, which is what I suppose she's just got. I don't know if she was homeschooled, but...
Laughs the wrong time, sat with the wrong guy, searching how to start a conversation on a website. Talked to the top guy, swore it was his type.
I mean, the rap, it's like rap, isn't it, this?
Every guy I like is gay.
That may be that. Every guy I like is gay. It's like, I'm just looking at the chorus. I broke a glass, I tripped and fell, I told secrets I shouldn't tell, I stumbled all over my words, I made it weird, I made it worse. Each time I step aside, it's social. It's like this, again, it's always to meet social standards in school, or for example, it's so hierarchical, it's so rigid, you've got to act in a certain way to be popular. That's kind of how it is, at least in the UK. And it's... yeah, it gives that. It's quite relatable, actually, really, this. To a lot of people, I feel like, even to me, to an extent, you know, you can't just be yourself, I feel like, in school. You've got to meet things. And I suppose, again, Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl, coming from a homeschool environment to a normal social environment, it's going to cause all this anxiety, which I think Olivia is trying to emulate. This is grunge. This is grunge. It just speeds up. Perfect. It's perfect. That outro made me laugh a little bit. Thought your mum was your wife, called you the wrong name twice. I mean... I mean, it happens, doesn't it? But yeah, again, phenomenal song. I mean, like I said, I'll go back onto the annotations. It's like, it's clearly again about how homeschool student was socially stunned. Nostalgic lyricism describes her fumbles in her younger years. So from this, I'm guessing it's autobiographical. Younger years, she may have been homeschooled. Stumbling words, making simple mistakes. Teenage outpour of overthinking appears. Yeah, exactly. When you're in your teenage years, and especially in these situations, you just overthink everything, right? You always... when it comes to social situations especially, you're constantly trying to think 2 steps ahead, at least I was at school, of what to say, and then you end up thinking, oh, hang on, what have I just said? You know what? I've just pissed up a line, and now I can't make more conversation because you're just always thinking about what you're gonna say. Yeah, very, very relatable. This whole album, I think, is relatable, actually. So was Sour. This more so. It's like as if she's definitely progressed on those themes from Sour. Anyway, we're on track 6, Making the Bed, which I've heard is a standout for a lot of people.
Did it so it's done. Another thing I ruined. Say I thought it so I said it. Took it cause I can. Another day pretending I'm older than I am. But sometimes I feel like I don't wanna be where I am.
It's a proper arm waver, isn't it?
And I'm playing the victim so well.
making the bed. I didn't initially think it would be about her messing up, her putting herself in the positions of where she is. So I'm guessing it's clearly about her position now of fame at such a young age and what she did and how different I suppose her life was. You know, I'm getting drunk at club with my fair with friends, pushing it away with people who know me best. It's like, you know, it's raw. This is true Olivia's own thoughts, isn't it? This track. This is about where she's now, how she feels, how her life's changed in the last 2 to 3 years, and her kind of thinking, well, it is my fault, I wanted this was my dream, so I've now got to make my bed in what I've done.
Every night I wake up from this one recurring dream. I'm driving through the city, the brakes go out on me. Tell someone I love them, just as a distraction. They tell me that they love me like I'm some tourist attraction. They're changing my machinery and
Wow. They tell me that they love me, because I know it's the second time, but I am starting to pick up on lyrics I didn't before. They tell me that they love me like I'm some tourist attraction. They're changing my machinery, I just let it happen. The tourist attraction, you know, reference, it's clearly about the fame and how fans are just like, oh, we love you, we love you, we love you, we love you. But she's a human, she's not a artist. People just see her as Olivia Rodrigo, is singing, not Olivia Rodrigo, the human, the friend. They're changing my machinery, just let it happen. Is this referring to like people in the industry changing her as a person, maybe a person that she doesn't want for herself, and are always having to resist and fight back against that? I feel like this song it's an emotional one for her. I bet this took a lot. I bet this was certainly the hardest track for her to write, I feel like, for sure. I mean, it's quite tough to listen to, really, because she's just so vulnerable in this song. The production as well. What guitar.
Counting all of the beautiful things I regret, but it's me who's been making the bed.
Crazy, really. God. I mean, I'm just looking at the annotations now. You know, Olivia reflects on a dwindling satisfaction with fame and misstating her life in general. Exactly. It's what I was saying, really. It's the fact that she's seeing where she is as well, and probably thinks, what is this? This is not what I imagined. It's not what society tells me this is. It's actually very tough. And like it says that she feels like she only has herself to blame because she made a bed, because she was the one that wanted that. And it even says here, look, that she did an interview and it says it was the hardest song, which I guess it definitely was. This is very emotional, you know. A lot of feeling has gone into this song, I can tell. God. Right, anyway, track 7, Logical.
I fell for you like water falls from the February sky, but now the current's stronger. No, I couldn't get out if I tried. But
See, we're going back to the manipulation, aren't we, in this one? That last line just felt low, love is never logical. That really resonated with me, because it's not. It's so complex. It's never straight. It's never logical, as it says. It makes you do stupid things.
the way it all unraveled and all the things you did to me. You lied.
He sounds like a dickhead, doesn't he?
Guess love is never logical. I'm sure that girl is really your friend. Problems are all solvable.
Olivia, man.
I look so stupid thinking 2 plus 2 equals 5.
Wow.
Oh, love is never logical.
Lyricist. She is a lyricist. I'm telling you now.
Logical, logical. Love is never logical. I know.
No, it's not.
Logical, logical. But it stopped it all. God, why didn't I stop it all?
It's just a phenomenal song, this. Another one, really. It's, again, she's just talking about how illogical really love is. How, you know, this particular person in this song, this boy, has let her down, has made her feel like shit, has cheated, it's insinuated, you know. That she still feels like things are solvable, like, oh no, we're fine, because she's in love. And then in reflection, she's like, why the fuck was I thinking that? Because we do, we all think that when we fall out of love with someone. You know, I mean, it says here, look, on Genius. Delves into a tumultuous relationship marred by manipulation and deceit, where Rodrigo grapples with her own vulnerability and self-blame. As the relationship unravels, the lyrics reflect the emotional turmoil and the difficulty of making rational decisions when caught up in intense feelings. The song ultimately serves as a powerful reflection on the irrationality of love and the regrets that can accompany such entanglement. Exactly. It's, you know, you just, when you're in love, again, the rational decisions aspect, you do not make rational decisions a lot of the time you're in love. If you ever heard of it saying, you know, you're looking through a rose tinted glass, everything's blurry when you're in love. A lot of the time, you act on pure impulse and emotion. You don't act with rationality and brain. You know, this song personifies that, obviously in a much more complex way than how I'm describing it, but just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Right, let's go on to track 8 then. Getting Back. Yes.
He argued with me about everything.
See, we're going back to the more playful things now, aren't we? A bit like a Bad Idea, right?
Depressed till I remember every time he made a pass on my friend. Do I love him? So I write him all these letters.
God, again, the guitar, the production, man, on some of these songs, it's a lot more, less of the ballads, I feel like, more of the rock and roll. That's the vibe I'm getting with this song. It's a lot more angsty, isn't it? You know, she's getting a lot more rebellious as she gets older, I feel like. But this song, again, it's clearly about taking fun of, or getting back at someone that's pissed you off, getting back at someone that's cheated on you, I'm guessing. And it's the kind of the conflict between doing it and not, because then again, in this chorus, because then again, I really miss him and it makes me real sad. Oh, I want sweet revenge, I want him again. I want to get him back. It's, you know.
Disappointed friends because everyone knew all of the shit that he do. He said I was the only girl, but that just wasn't the truth. And when I told him how he hurt me, he told me I was tripping. But I am my father's daughter, so maybe I could fix it.
I can imagine this one being played at the gigs as well.
I wanna make him lunch. I wanna break his heart. His car. I wanna make him lunch. I wanna break it.
I don't blame you for a wish, you know.
I wanna meet his mom and tell her her son's
I want you to get him in all. I think you did. I can tell you did. Again, I never got it. It's very like, this is a lot more groovy. It's a lot more slack, isn't it? Not as melodic as the others. It's a lot more like a bit of a hip hop element to it. I feel like, in the sense it's very like beat. You know, it's a good song to put on the gigs. I think this will get the crowd going. It's got that vibe to it, hasn't it? Again, in Genius, you know, Rodrigo wants to get a boy back who she previously dated, and she starts to do this in a more sinister way by tricking him to making him jealous and sorry for her, which she believes will work. Rodrigo seems to be contradictory, especially with Bridge, where she admits she wants to do something to grab his attention and then undo it to get his attention. Again, it's the constant conflict, isn't it? Which is what I kind of emulated earlier. But another great track for a fantastic album, let's be real. Anyway, let's get on to track 9. Love is Embarrassing.
All my friends, you were the one. After I'd known you like a month, and then you kissed.
See, I'm getting like indie disco, you know, your Vampire Weekends, your two-door cinema clubs, you know, bands like that, block parties, things like that. It's very kind of like, I reminded me of like British indies bands. That's what it did at first. I mean, it's probably some American bands in there as well. I mean, I think Vampire Weekend are American, but it's very like an indie disco. I could see this cracking off, you know, in the indie clubs and stuff.
Like a week when you said space was what you need. Waited by my. Now it don't need to think.
Go get up, hang on. Oh, banging. Banging. I do apologise for his dance moves, but it's got to be done. That chorus, that beat, that music is just blows you out of the park for me. And even the lyrics, now it doesn't mean a thing. God love fucking embarrassing. I just watch as I crucify myself for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning. My God, love is embarrassing as hell. It's like, it's the constant, when you're, I suppose, when you're a teenager as well, it is embarrassing. You do feel embarrassed at who you loved before, at how you progress with love. God, I'm breathless after that. I won't dance like that again, I'm knackered. Anyway.
War 3, Jesus, what was I even to? Now it don't need to think God loves fucking embarrassing his head.
That vocal.
Don't need to think God loves fucking embarrassing. Just one night, and I keep coming back for more.
I tell you what, right, it's 30-degree heat. I mean, it's probably cold now because it's now 2:45 in the morning. For a song to make me dance like that in this heat, it takes a bloody lot. But that song is crazy good. Crazy good. I mean, my style of music is your indie alternative rock. I love that genre, they're my faves. And for a mainstream pop artist to emulate those genres, especially in this song like that, and it's 2 minutes 34. It's a very quick song. I could listen to that song over and over and over again. It's that good. It's the sound of it, because like I said, I'm a very aesthetic person. I love sounds, I love music, I love production. I could have it on in the car whilst I'm working. I could have it on at a party. I could have it on anywhere, and it'll make me feel good, right? You know, and it makes me feel relatable to it as well. Artist. She's a fucking artist, man. Anyway, I'll do a quick look at the annotation as well. I think it's going to kind of say what I've more or less been saying. Explores the roller coaster of emotions and self-discovery during a tumultuous teenage romantic relationship. The song pointedly captures the awkward and sometimes stressful experience of navigating love, self-worth and emotions. Yeah. So like the embarrassment of love, you know, navigating that love, navigating different partners and then thinking after that, what the fuck was I doing? You know, that's what I get from this. But yeah, another phenomenal track. We're on track 10 already. The Grudge. See, now we're going dead slow again, aren't we? We've had our upbeat tracks, you know.
If nightmares each week about that Friday in May. One phone call from you and my entire world was changed. Yeah, I say that I'm fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. It takes strength.
Again, this is a very lyrical song, isn't it? You know, it's very simple, just a piano and a few strings in the background. It's definitely a song about manipulation, isn't it? And kind of like not letting go of a love that is unrequited. It's only one way, you know. And I tried to be tough this is the chorus, by the way, but I want to stream. How can anybody do the things you did so easily? And I say I don't care, and I say that I'm fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. It takes strength to forgive, but I don't feel strong. This person wants to forgive. They can't. This person's done too much to them to the point where they're no longer strong. It's another deep one.
You feel so guilty, and I fantasize about a time you're a little fucking sorry. And I try to understand, how could anybody do the things you did so easily? And I say I don't care, I say that I'm fine, but you know I can't let it go. I've tried for so long. I deserved it all.
No. Well.
Filled with betrayal, you bent me up to watch me.
That bridge. The bridge, man. Ooh. Do you think I deserved it all? All your flowers filled with vitriol. You built me up to watch me fall. You have everything and you still want more. This guy is a piece of shit. That's all I've got to say on that. Right. I don't know if she's meant... Again, it could be autobiographical, I don't know. But this girl, man. Awful how people treat women sometimes.
You know I can't let it go. I've tried for so. It takes strength to forgive.
God.
It takes strength to forgive, but
It is. This album exhausts you. This is the second time you're going through it. I'm physically exhausted from Love Is Embarrassing. I'm now mentally drained from that song. Because it's just such a mind fuck, innit? You know, what she talks about in there. You know, I'll get the annotation up. I wish my phone would stop doing that. It reflects the struggle Olivia faces, torn between feelings of deceit and conflicting emotions. The slow mechanic piano melodies set up poignant mood but perfectly complements the emotional depth. And its production is highly reminiscent of her early... Yeah, see, that's a good point, the last sentence about it being so stylistically similar to Driver's License, because it is. It's almost like Driver's License's sequel, in a way, or its companion, with a piano and the kind of the emotional interludes in between. Yeah, I definitely see that actually after reading that. That's a good point to make. But now we're on penultimate track, Pretty Isn't Pretty. Oh, it's this one. Of course it is. This one, I tell you now, it's the ultimate chill song. It's post-punk, it's the Cure vibes. It's jangly. I could just sit here right now and just drop off to this. Oh my god, it's brilliant.
just try and stay calm. Pretty isn't pretty enough. I could change up my body and change up my face.
It's just, I mean, I know the song's about body image, isn't it? And always trying to make you feel like you're good enough, but you're never going to be good enough because it's such an impossible image to be. It's reflecting back on this stereotypical, hypothetical woman that's just so hard to achieve. And it's kind of complemented with a production and a music that's just so soothing for me anyway. It's just such an intriguing, ironic combination, I feel like, of lyricism and production. I find it really good. I mean, I just love that music. I just love the post-punk era of it. The 90s, not 90s, the 80s, like Cure, Sushi, about, like, oh my god. It's just so good.
But you'll never win the war. 'Cause the bullets in my head, it's in the boys I bring to bed. It's all around, it's all the time. I don't know why I even try when.
See that bridge, it's like, You know, it's everywhere. It's all around me. This woman, this hypothetical woman, is on social media. It's on the magazines. It's on the papers, the tabloids, the telly. Even in the boys' head, who she gets with and who she starts relationship. It's ingrained in society, which is so wrong. Gets me so pissed off as well. You know, who cares? But everyone's pretty, right, in their own way. And there's no set standard, you know, which is what Olivia's kind of bring down, I think, in this song. Go on. That's one of the standouts for me. It's I've more or less summed it up during the reaction of that track. God, it's just, honestly, you guys have got no idea how much I love that genre. Like, I'm proper geeking out over it. But I mean, after a lot of my albums I've got, my vinyls, my records are all of that era. You know, I just love that era of music, and I feel like Olivia emulates that in this. Right, it's time to go on the final track. God, it's gone quick.
When am I gonna stop being wise beyond my years and just start being wise? Got your whole life ahead of you. You're only 19, but I fear that they are.
See, this is given like this song. I mean, I remember it from obviously First Direction, obviously, but it's kind of it reminds me of, because Making the Bed. Now I'm seeing Making the Bed is track 6 and this is track 4. Whether that's a purposeful position of these songs, because they're both very similar lyrically, I feel like, in terms of the reflection of Olivia's where she is, how she feels about where she is. You know, I think Making the Bed was about feeling guilt and feeling self-blame for what position she's in, whereas this is very much a kind of a sad poetic reflection on, you know, missing out on teenage memories, because she was, you know, again, she's so young, you know, she's missed out on a lot of memories by pursuing a career in this and becoming so famous in doing it as well.
And I'm sorry that I couldn't always be your teenage dream. Well, I spend all the rest of my years wishing I could go back. Got your whole life ahead of you. You're only 19. Oh yeah, they all say that it gets better, but what if I don't know that it's better? It gets better, but
Oh, that changing. See that last bit? It's almost like, I mean, it's a chant, isn't it, really? And again, great the gig, but I feel like the way Olivia's done it, and the way, I think his name's Dan Negro, the way the Negro's done it is that it's almost like, I feel like that's what you can really feel like that's what everyone's telling her in the industry. Everything will be fine, Olivia. Don't worry. Everything will be okay. Don't worry, Olivia. That's what I get from that. It's like, these are all the voices, the way that it's sounding like a choir. It's like all the voices. Then that little kind of like suspicious, like that little bit, shows just how it's all bullshit, really. Yeah. Nice to do it again. I'm sorry that wasn't initial reaction. It was, like I said, it was a right ball ache, that was. But anyway, my verdict on this album, I think the first album, I was going to say massive improvement, but the first album was just so good in itself, but she's topped that album somehow. She's managed to beat the debut. Definitely manipulation is the main theme of this album. It runs right through it. whether it's being manipulated by lovers gone past, by herself, if that makes sense, in terms of how she's gotten into the position she's in, and also by the music industry. I feel like the way that she's been, and society, the way that she's been manipulated to think, oh, it'd be great if I could live this life, but in actual fact it's tough, you know, and fame's tough. But yeah, manipulation for sure. Love, definitely. Clearly different sides to love, clearly it being very complicated, not straight-laced, not as simple as we all think. And I think as compared to the previous album, it's almost like she's grown from that, because it was very mature, I feel like, Sour, in the sense that it was about teenage love, teenage angst, right? It was about those feelings, raw feelings you get at that age. But I believe Olivia Rodrigo was 19, 20 when, I think she's about that age now. She's starting to move out of that teenage phase, and you can sense the maturity in the lyrics, you can sense maturity in the production. It's a lot more well-rounded, I feel like. It's a lot more like as if she's grown from those themes and developed with those themes of manipulation and love to a more adult audience. And again, you can link that to like the genre versatility in this. I feel like these sounds are a lot more friendly to older generations, to older people. Not saying that Sal wasn't genre versatile, it was, but I feel like there's a definite difference between the two in terms of the much more guitar-based sounds, you know. I just think that emulates the progression as well. But the standouts for me, so my top 3 of the album, easily, number 1 is Pretty As Pretty for me. It's just, I mean, I keep nerding out about how great I love that sound, but it's just the lyricism, the contrast between the chill, vibey, post-punky production to the very raw, quite deep subjective self, of body image, of, you know, brutality of like what everyone expects of you. I just think that's such a great ironic contrast that they've done. I think that's very clever. I think number 2 for me is Lacy. Lyrically, that's one of the best songs I've ever heard. I think in terms of how she puts herself as this someone that despises but also loves a person, it was very clever, and it made me think about, like, I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, I don't understand the experience of being a woman, but in terms of putting myself in a position of someone that I like but also despise and jealous of as well, it's very clever how she's woven all those complex feelings into one song of 2 minutes and 57. Very, very clever. So yeah, that's my number 2. And then number 3, for me, is Love Is Embarrassing, purely because it's just a bop. It's just something that I can dance to, and I know it's about, I think it's bringing back the teenager thing as well, in terms of like how it was all embarrassing falling in love with different people and stuff, but it's just, I mean, you saw how I dance. No song will get me to dance at 3 a.m. That song did, right? So that just says it all. But yeah, that's my reaction to, or second reaction I should say, to Olivia Rodrigo Guts. I feel like listening to it a second time, I've certainly understood a lot better the themes and the lyrics than the first time. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway. As I said, all my socials in the description. You'll get the unedited reaction to this and the first reaction on Patreon now. So if you want to go see them, feel free to check that out. But at 3:15 in the morning, as always, subscribe, I beg, and I'll see you in the next one.